crowd. I want to get warmer. What do you want to do? We have a walk. Yeah, we do.
In New Brunswick, Mr. Hicks says New Brunswickers have turned against New Brunswickers. And I say this to that blame shifting. Blank. He blame shifts and blames the public safety and he blames somebody else and he's always handing off his responsibilities. But Blaine Higgs, you have turned New Brunswickers against New Brunswickers. In Nazi Germany, they turned neighbors against neighbors. Now this is today. And with the government here in New Brunswick instituting snitch lines so you can report neighbors that don't follow orders. I'm so proud of a friend of mine. He got a call. They offered him a job working on the snitch line. And he said, absolutely not. That's a violation of everything I believe in. Kudos to Terry.
Yo, yeah.
Worse now, public health and safety have unfettered powers allowing them to surveil, harass, intimidate, which is what's going on here today. And they even have the power to enter homes and businesses and churches without a warrant. You see, we thought we had justice in this country. We thought we had a court system that would back us up, but it's all corrupt. That's what's taken place in our country today.
Right.
To enter a church without a warrant. Your predecessors, the law enforcement, would roll over in their grave if they saw how law enforcement was behaving today. The government has put fear in the people, and they have called the unvaccinated the spreaders of disease. Fear and propaganda that pumps out on the nightly news with endless government updates, restrictions, mandates, lockdowns. I fail to see the difference between Nazi Germany and what's going on here.
Oh, fuck you!
But concentration camps are a far cry from what's happening today, you say. Really? Canada has COVID camps. Go on the government website. We're hiring now.
Are you actually asking if I need the attention? You're dressed like that.
Really trust the government this
You're the one harassing people.
Look at our history. And this is especially for the officers' ears that are in the crowd.
You're harassing people, not her.
On Canada and the RCMP in particular.
You're asking if I need attention.
We have
and you're
been a part of carrying out. They've been carrying out their
still are
so-called
fighting for your rights. We're standing up for you as well.
You just got bad breath. Children from their homes to satisfy the government's conformity initiative. Yes, RCMP officers walked into homes and took children out of their homes. Back in World War II, there was registration and internment camps for Japanese Canadians. We are not immune to the stains of history, and I fear that we may be repeating past mistakes. You see, all genocides, all of them, have been perpetrated by governments and carried out by their own citizens.
What's the church got to do with this? It's a protest for freedom!
Yes.
I've spoken many times lately of the similarities of the events of the last 22 months comparing the Holocaust. Many of times, survivors of communism have approached me. When I've spoken on this matter in the past, survivors of communism have approached me and said, you are right. This is exactly how the Nazis did it, step by step. With tears in their eyes, they told me their stories and said, I never thought I would have to live through this again, but here we are. Are we going to sit back while Canadians lose their jobs, are forced to live in their cars, Yes, this is happening in New Brunswick. We got a call last month that somebody said because they both lost their jobs, as of February 1st, they have to move into their car because they have nowhere to live. Are we going to sit back while Canadian children are going hungry because their parents can't afford to feed them, losing their jobs at the hand of the government that was elected to serve them? This is government legislated poverty. The segregation of society has never been a good thing. Creating second-class citizens has never been a good thing. The groups in history responsible for segregation have never been on the right side of history. You see, communism is not coming to Canada. Communism is here. When we can't even stand outside in our rights and freedoms without threat of a ticket or arrest. This is a dictatorship that tells you where you can go, what you can do, and who you can do it with. They say it can't happen here. That's what Venezuela thought a few years ago. Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the Western Hemisphere. Now they're under a dictatorship and there is nationwide poverty.
Where'd you get your doctorate in? Minor means?
You say it can't happen here? Look at Australia, where people are locked into their homes. Drones fly overhead to ensure people aren't even in their backyards. You say it can't happen here? Look at PEI in Newfoundland, where residents are prisoners of their own provincial government. They are not allowed to cross provincial boundaries without a V-pass. They are being unlawfully detained in their own province. You say it can't happen here? People are not allowed into restaurants, hair salons, public bathrooms without a V-pass. In Quebec, the church was just informed by the government, no V-pass, no entry, period. We called Costco in the head office in Ottawa to confirm this, and as of Monday, you will need a V-pass at Costco's in Quebec to get in the door. That's a tactic of war, if you didn't know. They starve out their enemies. It's a tactic of war, and I consider that the government declaring war on their citizens. Via Rail. They don't like my yellow star and comparing it to Nazi Germany. Via Rail has implemented a yellow check mark. A sticker to be worn on your jacket. You don't have the sticker, you don't get in the train. Maple Leaf Homes, right here. Go ask somebody who works there. Maple Leaf Homes has a sticker for the
yes, in Moncton, yes.
You got it. And we were told
it started earlier, eh?
Yeah,
if somebody could check it out, it'd be great. The Irving Midland Transport wears stars on their helmets to say who's vaccinated. You say it can't happen here. People are denied access to loved ones in hospitals and long-term care facilities, leaving many to die alone. For over a year, we have carried this. I've got it over there somewhere. I couldn't get it with all the turmoil. We have carried a pea bucket in our vehicle.
Yeah, still vertical.
That's good.
Yeah.
How was that Sunday? You guys have a good time, did you?
Sunday,
Sunday going?
yeah, people showed up, and yeah.
I was sad to miss it. I was up here doing some other stuff.
I noticed that. Yeah.
But
And
they would have had help because
I spoke
they
to
would have called the
Laura.
cops.
Yeah.
And
these cops
everything
would have
went well at
escorted my 4-year-old out the door.
not Costco.
Walmart there?
Walmart.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
It worked out real good. So
Yeah.
I was hoping nobody was too upset, or I felt bad I wasn't there the next week to talk about it, but it was good.
No,
Went well.
All
everything
while
went
that was
well.
happening,
Yeah, it was
while
good.
my
Yeah,
wife and my
You didn't
granddaughter
serve
were
any
being
papers
forced
or
out
anything?
We didn't have to. They didn't cause us really any trouble.
And
Yeah, that's-
staff turned their
I
eyes
was
away,
surprised.
and not
too.
one person
And
spoke up
Steve's
in this
place went well.
4-year-old's
Yeah,
defense.
I'm glad to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Shame on you.
Good. We're building people's confidence.
Many in
People know
Germany
that they can
turned
do
their
this.
eyes
It's
yeah.
okay.
away as
Yeah.
well.
Good.
Right on.
How
Good,
long
Matt.
will you continue to turn your eyes away? Our granddaughter at 4 years old said this: what kind of person would take a toilet away from a human?
Shame! God is
She was 4 years old at the time, and she knows better than our premier. She knows better than these officers in these courts that are enforcing these illegal mandates that have never gone through legislature.
Thank God we live in Canada and have a Charter of Rights.
I'll add to that. What kind of person refuses medical treatment to a fellow human being? People, if you don't know this, everything I'm saying here today, I can back it up, because some people think, oh, you're just internet, this and that. I'm on the phone with Charter of Rights and Freedoms lawyers, constitutional lawyers. I'm on the phone with immunologists, virologists, pathologists. I'm on the phone with doctors and lawyers. I'm on the phone with Brian Peckford, who wrote the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
Right, yeah,
Well, that's my knowledge to anybody in the crowd. What kind of person, human, takes away? People are being removed from the transplant list. What's their crime? Not being vaccinated. No vax, no heart transplant. Can
Right.
you believe this is Canada?
Right, yeah.
If we wanted a communist government, we'd move to China.
Right.
And that's where Trudeau can go if he admires their system so well. What kind of person
Defending your company or your country.